Greetings and welcome to our channel, Our Mom's Garden. Our mission here at Our Mom's Garden is to show affordable options on how to have a beautiful garden that is easy to maintain. So let's get started. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the tools that I often use in the garden that may be helpful for you if you're starting a garden or if you already have a garden. So let's go over some of those tools. Okay. In the garden, one of the first tools you want to get if you're planning on doing some gardening are some gloves. I'm going to put these gloves on because it's a little chilly out here right now. So any type of gloves that you can wear that are comfortable will be fine. Even some leather gloves, as long as these gloves are fit your hand so that they don't cause strain on your hands, because you may have them on for a while. And you want something that resists punctures, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of things like thorns and roses and stuff like that, and you want something to protect your hands. So these gloves protect your hands, and these gloves protect your hands, but there's a wide array of gloves out there that you can get at a lot of big box stores or Walmart or Target or someplace. Find something that fits your hand that you would like. The next thing I'm going to talk about is a shovel. There are different types of shovels. You have the shovel here that is made mostly for scooping. Like scooping out a pot or something like that, you might want a shovel like this. This shovel is good for that. And then you also have a shovel like this that is a little bit better when you want to dig a hole in the ground, because it's a lot stronger, a lot more solidly built, and it gets the job done. But as you can see, a lot of these tools are my secondary tools, and it may look like I'm not using them a lot because a lot of my main tools have been put away for the winter and I haven't gotten them out yet. So these are some other tools. You might also want a shovel like this. This is a little bit bigger than this shovel here, but when you're digging in the hole and the soil is loose, you can use this. It helps you to move a lot more soil if you need to move some soil around. Shovel like this. And then if you're gardening outside, you're going to need one of these. Get a good one. You're going to want one that digs through the ground. You can step on it and push it down. And this one right here is fiberglass, but they come in wood, all types of materials. But make sure you get a shovel that's durable. The next thing you'll probably want to get is some type of rake. These rakes like this are for digging in the soil when you're down on the ground mostly. It helps you to pull back some weeds, helps you pull back some old foliage, and so you don't do too much damage to your plants. So this one has a nice grip handle. This one's just a regular wooden handle. Find one that fits your hand well. You're going to need you a small rake like this. Next thing is a larger rake. This rake is good for getting to flower beds. This particular one expands. You can see. So this is good for raking shrubbery. It's good for raking shrubbery out of the flower beds and just getting some things that may be a little harder for you to reach. You can extend it so you can extend it to the flower bed and get some of the things out. This one is expandable. You also have one like this. This is a regular one. This is one of my oldest shows. I can remember. I might have got this from the dollar store or something. But it's been around for a while and it does the trick. So it's still around. Continue with the shovel. You can get one like this. This one might cost you a little bit more, but this one is expandable, so you can adjust it to fit the flower bed that you're going to be working on. So get tight, a little wide. This is good for getting debris out of flower bed, and you can, if you want to move a lot of material, expand it like this, larger material, and tight spaces, you can close it up. This wasn't real expensive, but a lot of times the ones like this tend to be a little bit more expensive. You're also going to need a rake like this. If you got leaves around, leaves fall into your yard, you want to move some leaves, you're going to need a rake like this or a rake like this. Both of them work fine, but you want one with a nice wide fan. This one is better for smaller debris. This one is better for larger debris, and it's a lot stronger, a lot more, it's a lot sturdier. So, you know, but you're going to want to rake one of these rakes with the fans, the wide fans. Get yourself a rake. Okay. Next thing is I need my fingers. Okay, the next thing to talk about is pruners. Two things I have with me almost all the time when I'm out in the yard. Number one is a pair of gloves, and number two is a pair of pruners. I don't know how many pruners I have. I have a lot of pruners. These will probably get sharpened again, you know, in about a week or so. And but yeah, I got plenty of pruners. I like the bypass. This is the bypass pruners. It's bypass because you see the blade bypasses the anvil part. So this is the one I prefer out in the yard. After pruners, you're going to need a saw. You can have a pocket saw like this for cutting branches. This one's a little fold down type. Opens, closes, you can carry it around in your pocket. Or you get one like this where the blade is kind of, you know, just a long blade. And I probably prune with this one the most if I need to use one. Okay, besides the pruners, see, this is one that's not my regular one, but this probably need to be cleaned and sharpened. But this is an old one. But anyway, larger pruners. You have this pruner. You have this one with the ratcheting mechanism. You can see it better like this. can get a better bite. Also have some with true ratcheting one. This is the anvil type, but you can cut larger pieces with this by ratcheting, and it also has a expandable pole for leverage. So you really need to cut some down. Saw. This is like a workhorse. This is an old blade. I have replacement blades on this for this here one. This one, if you want to cut something, this one, I'll keep the action on. This is another thing that's, if you have hedges, you can get something like this. I don't use this one too often. I have electric hedge clippers, and I'll show that in my video when I show my electric tools. So I don't usually use this, and even some of the tools I use electric over manual. You're going to also want something like this. If you want to do some potting up, and you don't want a lot of soil falling on the ground and going this way and that way, and especially if you want to be using fertilizer and mixing things up, you want something like this, or on this big pan over here out of the screen, but the pan you see in my other videos that I'll be working in, this was from a dollar store. It's supposed to be an oil pan. I use it for gardening, and the larger pan I got from a home improvement center to use for that. Okay, almost to the end. I don't know if I said what do we have here? Oh, some important one. The action hub. This, if you got weeds, and everybody got weeds, you want one of these. At the end, I'm going to go over some of the essential tools that I think are most important, and this is one. We'll get to that at the end. Next is a fork. When you want to dig holes in the ground, a shovel is your best option. But if you want to dig a plant out of the ground, you want something like this, because you're going to get minimum damage to your roots because of the spacing here. So you won't tear up all your roots when you're trying to remove a plant out of the ground for transport, for transplanting or dividing or something like that. You want to use a fork instead of a shovel. If you can. Sometimes you can use a shovel, but this works better. I skipped one of the rakes. This rake. This one got a little bent because this one gets used. But if you got some stuff that you want to clear out, it's a little bit tough. These other rakes, they'll get it done when there's some small stuff. But when you got something that you need to get into the flower bed, you want you a hard metal rake. This rake is probably used the most because I use this way to move stuff, and this way, like with mulch or something like this here, to move the mulch out, and whatever you got going. If you're doing a flower bed and you want to move the dirt out, you can use it this way. You want to chop something up, you can use it this way. So you also want your rake. Like me, well, if you like anybody, you going to get you something like this. A lot of people, I've told somebody about getting a knee pad one time. They were saying, I don't need a knee pad. As soon as you get on the ground and your knee hits a rock, you're going to be going out and getting one of these. This is an old one, but I mean, you would much rather put your knee on this with a rock on the other side than for your knee to hit a rock directly. Believe me. You know, get you one of these. This is an inexpensive one. They come in all sizes. One about half this size. And the one I use mostly is this. This is a kneeler and a folds down. Kneeler goes up like this here and opens up. So a kneeler this way and a chair this way. And believe me, if you're working out in the yard, you're going to want to sit down sometime. And this is your portable chair that you take with you, and you can just sit down and relax for a minute and keep on going. So now let me get you the essential tools. This is one. You need something either like this or like this. You can get this. This is even better. This is the chair and the kneeler. Second essential, gloves. You have to have gloves. You must protect your hands. Pruners. Like I said, when I said two things I almost always go outside with is my gloves and my pruners. My kneeler is almost always outside, usually on my deck. So it's on there under a canopy. That almost always stays outside during the summertime. These go in the house. So, you know, a lot of times I don't want my gloves outside. Some spiders might crawl inside. I'm kind of phobic like that. But gloves, pruners, kneeler, and some type of shovel. Those are things you can get started with. Little shovel, if you're going to be out in the yard digging, the largest shovel. If you're just going to be doing pots or something like that, you're not going to need this. You're going to be out in your yard digging holes, you're going to need the largest shovel. But if you're going to be just doing pots or in the ground, you're going to need a shovel. You're going to need pruners if you have plants that need to be trimmed. You're going to need a kneeler and some type of defense against the weeds. So right now we have kneeler, pruner, shovel, action hoe, and gloves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are probably the 5 most important things. And like when I say a pruner, that also includes not just the regular pruner, but also the larger pruners. Well, I can't think of the name of these things right now, but I probably said it earlier, but you may need this, but this is not going to be essential because you may not need it this size. And then after those first 5, then I would say a rake, a saw, some type of bin. And that's probably it. So that's just some of the tools I think you should get. But straight off, you see one of these, get it. You're gonna need some pruners, you're gonna need some gloves, you're gonna need a shovel, and you're gonna need something to protect your knees. Something to protect your knees. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Peace.